This is Logical Mgtow Spock. Today's topic is obviously going to be possibly a mixture of things, like the other one was, going into men and women and evolution and such like that. But I'd start with what I saw cover on where it was posted on a cover of a video that stated where it had a woman state that she knew exactly what a real man was, and as if we don't know what a real man is, right? Yet also, and as you will see in the front cover if you haven't already seen it before you click the video here, is that women automatically can automatically think they can still judge us by saying men need to grow up. I'm ready to settle down. When really we men already know what that really is stating. That they want to give it another try to where she takes us for everything we have. She's ready to settle down to where she has more money than what she makes of her own. And it could be also where she has money to where she doesn't have to work ever again. So basically, it's not really about the aspect of a woman ready to settle down. It's not about the fact that they are more than eager to have children, just so they can get money out of us for the base of child support as well as alimony. Like there was this one video I saw, and even our Mgtow brother by the name of Mike the Mgtow Man did his own reference of it. Um, it had to do with a woman sitting down on the couch looking this way, right at the camera, right? And stating how much you really want to have a baby and someone to come home to. That's not a tearjerker. Mm-mm. The reason there's many reasons why it's not a tearjerker, because that whole thing is whether if it's emotionally true for the woman, or even if they're saying it just to get sympathy. More often than not, is that the aspect of sympathy and feeling sorry for her. It is the female gender that caused the crap where women don't want to are not going to be dealt with by us men because they act like children. If they don't get what they want, they bitch, moan, stomp their feet, and go to the point of even at times physicality. This, of course, happens um, depending on the type of woman we're dealing with. And and yet they think by slapping us across the face, stomping their feet like little fucking children, whining, moaning, and bitching, saying, "If you don't do this for me, you don't get sex from me." As Tom Likas says, we can get it from somewhere else. Granted, if we're married, then of course it's a spiritual sin. But of course, women do that anyways, don't they? They go to the aspect of, aside from the fact of the no-fault divorce, as I mentioned in my video from yesterday, and I'll put the video on the bottom of the description. Um, that due to the aspect of the no-fault divorce, and including with the aspect of the fact that our prenuptial agreement that we have the woman sign for us is used like toilet paper, but theirs, it's, you might as well say it's on a metaphorical picture frame on the wall, like a piece of art. The basic fact is also is that women use that no-fault divorce to where even if they do have an affair or cheat on us, essentially, which is basically the easy way of saying she's having an affair, she's committing adultery while married to us, especially even in a relationship with us, even before marriage. The no fault divorce on the female side is in like I said, it's in defense of the fucking female. So they can act like they're single all they want, and they don't have any ramifications against them, but we have the ramifications against us, even when it's a load of shit. And women want to use the aspect of going, men need to grow up. I'm ready to settle down. Or men, I know what it takes to be what a real man is, type of thing. It's like you women think you can justify and judge us men, but when we say things that are true about you women, even in the aspect of judgment, you say you shouldn't say that about us, or you shouldn't say that about women, or you shouldn't say that about her, my friend, or how dare you? And they usually go to they and a number of times they'll even go to the aspect of physical, not a good thing. Like they're the mother and we're the child, even though we're an adult as well as they are, but we have more common sense than they do, and yet they say they have more common sense than us men. Common sense doesn't go to the points of practically doing anything and everything for the man just so he feels that he should marry you. Common sense doesn't go to the aspect of where the woman basically slaps the shit out of him, practically, or even close to it, just to make him see things her way. And of course, by the way, that's also a sin, ladies. Um, Common sense doesn't go to the aspect of where women can automatically justify what we do is wrong, but what they do is right. As if, aside from the no-fault divorce, the fact that they think they can be footloose and fancy free and fucking cheat on us, even while in a relationship or marriage with us, and they have no second, third, fourth, or fifth, or however many thoughts of it, of why they shouldn't do it. They know they shouldn't do it spiritually, but yet they do it anyways, don't they? And then when it comes to the spiritual aspects, they don't even pay attention to that. They don't even pay attention to what they want to do, what they feel that we should be taught a lesson with, and how and in what way we should be taught a lesson. in their minds. They have no common. The fucking female doesn't have any common sense, one iota. They don't know the different. They don't know the meaning of common sense. Common sense only goes for them for the one-track mind aspect for the female. When common sense is not going to where it's only one-sided for the woman. Common sense is just that basic logic. And basic logic doesn't go to the point where I'm going to teach him a lesson by cheating on him. I'm going to make sure he sees things my way. Type of shit, What'd you say? Type of thing. You're going to see things my way. Type of thing. Doesn't solve anything, doesn't prove a damn thing for either side. It just shows that the woman is childish, even beyond the aspect of childish, and also beyond the aspect of controlling, and also goes to the point of obsessive, compulsive, thinking that they can get their way with us men and get us to do shit for them and get things for them. And yet they still consider themselves to be independent. They're not. So you women cannot say, even in the aspect of judgment, anything. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is. It doesn't matter if it goes, well, men need to grow up. I'm ready to settle down. I know what a real man is. No, you don't. If you knew, then you would be a man yourself, you stupid bitch. We could say the same thing about you women. You women need to grow up, but you don't, and you think there's nothing wrong with you at the same time. I know that. You women need to quit acting like children. Oh, you think there's nothing wrong with acting like children, obviously. Do you women? You women need to quit expecting things like a little fucking child. Oh, you don't think anything's wrong with that, do you, women? There is something wrong with it because that's not becoming of an adult, nor is it becoming of a woman. Mortally as well as spiritual. And it is not becoming of a woman to cheat on the man that they claim to love and care about and care for and whatnot else, and want to be with and spend their life with. And it's not becoming of a woman to use the no fault divorce aspect to where they think they can just act like they're single when really they're not, and just sleep around with any other Jerry, Chris and Bob, essentially. You women need to wake up and realize the sinful actions that you do, especially when it comes to physical harm, toward even towards us men and against us men. You sin. You continue to do that, you're gonna be repenting for the rest of your fucking natural lives, ladies. You continue to cheat on us, like Jill did to me. She's gonna be repenting for the rest of her natural life. And it doesn't matter if she's religious or not. She's going to have to pay for it one way or the other with her immortal soul and spiritual being and soul for the wrong she has done to even me as well as many others, and in general as well. It is easy for women to think that all the wrong that they do, they think they're justified. They think that they don't sin. Bull fucking shit. Then guess what? You women are not human if you don't think you sin. You women are imperfect beings. We men are imperfect beings. But to Heavenly Father, and I know I've mentioned this before, but to Heavenly Father and our Savior, we are all 100% perfect in the eyes of both Heavenly Father and our Savior. But outside of that, while we're living the life we're living and have been living, we're still imperfect. We still have the capacity to sin. And yes, it's a teaching lesson spiritually. But the one thing is, you women think that all the wrong things you do, you think you're justified for doing. You're not. All the wrong that we men do, you don't think we are justified. We know what we're justified and what we're not justified. We don't need you women to point things out for us either, and especially when it comes to that aspect. And we don't need you women to say, "I know what it takes to be a real man." And the other aspect of it is that we don't want to hear and have any judgment placed upon us by saying that we need to grow up when it's you women that need to grow up in reality. Because it's you women who think that you can get anything under the sun, whatever the cost, whatever the expense, whatever it does to us financially, even when it comes to survival. You don't give a damn, obviously, about that. Obviously, all you care about is your survival, and that's it. All you women care about is what you want and what you are, quote unquote, again, entitled to get or even expect to get. Those and many others are childlike things. We men expect many things, but we know we need to work towards it. And those men that don't know that yet will eventually. So you women are the only beings on this planet that need to grow up. You women are the only ones that need to act like actual, respectful, caring, loving human beings and like a woman, regardless, even if you do or do not get shit, you cannot stomp your feet. You cannot act like a little fucking child. You cannot expect things to get things when you want to on your timeline. Even if it meant the guy's fucking survival. You cannot go to that, even to that extent. You cannot use the base of physical harm or even a threat Even if you threaten to cheat on us, you can't use it because that's a sin right there. Even threats in general is a sin. You women think that you can go behind our backs and cheat on us, like Jill thought she'd be able to get away with doing to me, when she didn't, and she hasn't really spiritually. Yet I know she probably still thinks that she did, but she didn't, not even spiritually. And if Jill Yeaman, aka Jill Dixon, is watching this video, I'm going to tell you straight out, Jill Yeaman or Dixon, however you want to consider yourself. This very same person that you cheated on me with, that I saw over at Janet's and Barbara's place while you were there with Janet and Barbara's place, that same dude that you hung over, or basically draped yourself over, he came over to Cortez one afternoon. He he basically was practically about to shit a brick when he saw me. He didn't know what to expect from me. He told me what you said in full, which basically you, Jill Yeaman, aka Jill Dixon, bullshitted him. You told him an outright lie, deceived him, as if it was, and you acted like if it was true when it really wasn't, and you knew it. Jill Dixon, aka Jill Yeaman, you are in the wrong even on that, as well as cheating on me and lying to me, and lying to him as well. For that you are in a big time spiritual as well as mortal sin. And no, you don't have to be religious to sin if you think that you're not human. And therefore you should not be respected. If you're not going to be, if you don't go by that, and with the fact that you're not human, you don't deserve any respect or consideration for that fucking matter. No woman does, even on the same track. And also the other aspect of it is, I didn't lay him out. I had a thought of at one point, yes. If I ever saw the dumbass, I would have fucking laid him out, or he would have fallen topsy turvy down the stairway. But the one thing is, if I encountered him, say about a week or so later, or a day or so later, but lucky for him, the very person that you draped over at Janet and Barbara's place in Sunnyvale, lucky for him, it was about a few months to about a year later, somewhere in between there. I don't know if you even keep in contact with him at all, even with the fact that you're married to Chris Dixon. If you do, you have sinned again. And Chris Dixon should know this. How deceitful you are. And how you like to lie and deceive men because you think men do it to women. Yet when we don't do it to women, you women do it to us. Be that, of course, when we don't do it to you women, you still do it to us men. That doesn't show any justification. Mm-mm. It doesn't show. It doesn't prove anything of you being right or in the right. On this one, I'm talking to every woman, not only Joe Dixon, Joe, aka Joe Yaman. The basic fact is, if the dude is watching this video as well, he knows now that I directed the aspect of what I said about him to her, in case she's also watching this video. And if it ends the marriage, that's not my fault, Joe. Yours, Joe Dixon, aka Joe Yaman. The fault lands on you. Just like the fault landed on you when you cheated on me for the second or third time. The fault landed on you when you cheated on me for the second or third time. It fell on you spiritually and in the moral aspect. And you still think you were justified for doing so, even if I didn't know what I wanted. Poor excuse. If you didn't know what you wanted, then you shouldn't have gone with Cody. You shouldn't have gone with Todd or me or the other ones that you went with, even the one from Valco, even Chris Dixon for that matter. If you don't know what you truly want. The same goes for every woman out there that has done the same bullshit, if not close to it. The same shit, essentially, uh, that's even close to it, essentially. It doesn't matter the age either. It doesn't matter if you're preteen, teenage, or 20-year-old, or 30, or in your 40s to start with. It's still a sin, and it's still wrong. No woman is justified for doing so. It doesn't matter if you're an atheist. It doesn't matter if you're a non-believer, even in the spiritual sense. If you're not, even if you are a non-believer spiritually as well, it doesn't matter. You still sin. You're not justified. You're not in the aspect of free from or free of sin. If you think that, then you're not human. You don't deserve respect or consideration or any level of decency. Those women that think they can justify what a real man is, you can't. You sin when you do that. Those women who think that we men need to grow up when really it's the woman that needs to grow up, and with the fact that they refuse to see it within themselves. And I've heard it many times, even on the Tom Leykis show. One woman even stated, "We women need to do something to close off you men because we women have something even between our legs that you men want." That woman has sinned even with that statement. The women who think that they don't age like milk, and we men age gracefully, to where women are not sought out when they get to the ages of, say, late 30s, early to mid to late 40s. They're not really sought out as much as they think they are, or want to make it to where they feel better about themselves, even as they keep on thinking, "Yeah, we're still sought out." Men want us for one thing, and we as long as we give it to them, we can get something from them, like their wallets, essentially. They'll give us whatever we want as long as we give them what they want. And all they only want was one thing, right, ladies? Wrong. You women know that there are women out there that not only think of wanting to be in a relationship with a man, even married to one, but also you women know that you women have the more than ability, and you have, even if you deny it, you have thought of dick. You've thought of dick in you, dick in your mouth, and all this other shit. You women cannot deny that as much as you think you can. It's the base of human hormones for women on that aspect. Yet women think they can change us men by saying we're not going to be seeing, we're not going to be allowed to do the normal things we've done before we even met you women, and have the friends that we've had even before we met you women. But yet you can have the friends and do the things you've done even before you met us men, right, ladies? Wrong. If we can't have this shit in your little demented little minds, your feminazi little minds, then basically fairness is fair. You take shit away from us, we can take shit away from you. If you don't want us to take shit away from you, then don't even attempt to try to take shit from us. We are not your little playthings, like you say we are, that you are not our little plaything. We are not your little minions and zombies to where you think you can control like in any which way, and you think you can change us. And I've mentioned many times in each and one of my videos, before this one especially, and before the last one, the one I did from yesterday, in the sense that you women think that you can change us, but yet when you do, you go off and cheat on us. If you succeed in changing the man, essentially. You go off to find what you consider to be a real man. That's where you sin also, ladies. Thinking that you can change us from what attracted you to us in the fucking first place. Thinking you can tell us how to dress, what to wear, what what to what to do, and fucking what to have and what not to have, and who we can be friends with and who we cannot be friends with, what music we can listen to and what TV shows we can watch, what movies we can and cannot have in the sense of ownership. But you can have anything and everything that you want, right? And you call that justified and fair? No, it's not. That's manipulation, mental manipulation, and that's a sin. So ladies, you even I've heard many women say that women feel that they have been mentally manipulated by the government as well as men, but mostly by the government. Who hasn't been feeling that way where they feel like they're manipulated by the government? Even us men feel that way from time to time. You women are not alone on that one. But we men do not manipulate women, even if it does seem as such or even feel as such. It's the fucking fact that you women manipulated us, and a number of us go to the points of doing what you expect of us, just and just so we can keep you around for one, in our minds, of course, at first, and just so we can get in your pants as you want to get in. And at times, I know a number of you women want to get into ours as well. So it's basically on that one. You cannot say that it's not the same or it's not equalized on that one. It is. It is equalized. It is the same. But yet we freely admit it. You women don't, because you don't like to be considered easy, slutty, whorish, skank, like. But newsflash, ladies, when you cheat on us, you are whorish. When you go behind our backs, even when we're at work, when we men are at work, essentially in the sense of also cheating, adultery as well. You are a slut. You are a skank. You are easy. But at the same time, you are sinful. And yes, I would say it right in front of any woman if it came down to it. And if she didn't like it, oh fucking well. But if she tried to slap me, I'd fucking show her. I'd show her what for. Nobody, no woman puts their hands even across the face on me to start. Nobody does that to my friends either. Women don't like being slapped by even other women. So it doesn't give them any justification, nor does it give them any right to do it to us men. No physical harm to you women, then don't try to physically harm us. And don't try to mentally manipulate us and try to change us from who we are and what and who attracted you to us. So that's one other thing that you need to re-examine within yourself, ladies. You know, Mgtow men, I can add with and on a side, even on a side note, if you want to call it that, is that if I were to get a phone call, or even if I were to at some point run in to Jill, and at some point or another, doesn't matter where exactly, because basically I don't go to Truckee anyway. And yes, that's where I knew where her last location was. I'm not saying it is, but it was. But if I did run into her again, and she mentioned the video I said, and she wanted me to take it down, case in point, if you ever watched the Big Bang Theory, where Amy Fairfowler, the Mayim Bialik's character, years after Blossom, she plays the character of Amy Fairfowler wanting Sheldon Cooper, Jim Parsons' character, to take down the video that he sent to her after making it. That completely demeaned her left and right. He had every right. So he knew in one way or another he needed to express his feelings and his emotions. Women do the same shit, even on video. So no woman, doesn't matter who the fuck you are, can tell us what to do, especially when it comes to making a video. Even if we do mention your name by even by happenstance. Doesn't mean people are going to go after you in defense of us. Doesn't mean nothing like that. But we have a right even within the Constitution. You women don't want us to mention you by name, especially. Then don't do us wrong in any way. Don't try to manipulate us by any means, and no matter what the reason. Don't try to change us. Don't assume to even judge us if you don't want to be judged either. Don't try to control us if you don't want to be controlled by us. You cannot tell us what to do if you don't want us to tell you what to do. But the logic aspect of it is that if you're married to us, you cannot go out behind our backs, no matter what the fucking reason that you want to give yourself and make up for yourself, because that's a sin. Yet, if you want to be treated like an adult, ladies, you should know better. Aside from the no-fault divorce thing as well, you should still know better. You claim to know what's right from wrong. Even on the Tom Leykis show, you women have said that shit, when you obviously do not. Yet we men go to the point where we don't know what right from wrong, even when we do wrongful actions. I mean, hell, that's that's to happen when we're younger, like teenage and whatnot, right? We're still finding ourselves, just like you're still trying to find yourself. But when you're in a relationship, ladies, and this is also to many blue-pilled men, Jennas, white knights that are still young as well. You don't want to be cheated on, then don't cheat on her. Don't cheat on him either, ladies. You ladies have done the most cheating since the 1990s. Way more than us men. And I know I've mentioned it before, and it's true every time I mention it. Yeah, when you women do it, you think you're justified. You're not. You never will never be, because we're not justified when we do wrong things and sinful things and non-marital things. So you women are not justified or even free of sin when you do non-marital things, even if when you do things even outside the marriage, even in the aspect of cheating slash adultery, in what the old terminology is called an affair. Regardless of the no fault divorce, you women are still not justified. You still are not free of sin. And believe me, that type of sin is a lot heavier than slapping a person across the face, punching people. Those two are also sins, but not as heavy as the adultery slash cheating is. And also, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, and for you women, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's husband. And I've mentioned this. It doesn't mean your next door neighbor, and yes, I'm wearing summer attire. And it doesn't mean your friend's neighbor either. It could be anybody within the globe, even outside your own state and county and province. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's husband, for you women, and it doesn't matter when, even if it's not on Sunday, even if it is on Sunday, even if it is on a weekday, you still fucking sin. And no, you don't have to be religious or spiritual or a Bible thumper reader. You don't have to be a church goer. If you think you have to be that and more that goes in with that, then you're not really human, ladies. You don't deserve any respect. You don't deserve any decency. You don't deserve anything positive, emotionally, psychologically, at all. Because no non-human deserves anything positive. The things that you think you can get away with, that's non-human thinking. The things that you do try to get away with, it's non-human action. And also childish. And ignorant and stupid and brain dead. And hateful. And for you women, slutty, whorish, skanky as well. In addition to what I said earlier. There. You women think you can judge us? We will judge you till we're blue in the face, even beyond that point. If you think you can judge us by saying, men need to grow up, or anything else for that matter, or you think you can justify things to make you the higher power on women, you're not. You cannot make yourself feel the higher power even over us men, no matter what. Not even Jill Yeaman can make herself feel like she's the higher power, even over Chris Dixon. Even though she may think that she is, and yet even if Chris Dixon were to ask, she'd blatantly, bald-faced lie. Even while she still thinks it. Women can do that just as much as we men can. As a bullshit us men, they still think it. We men can do the same thing, even if women think that we can't. The base of Dutch door action on that one too, ladies. So, ladies, with all this said, and with what is going to be said on the video that I will post below, I may even post 2 videos. Who's to say? Or maybe just the one. Only I know. But the basic fact is, ladies, you don't have the upper hand when it comes to us men. Even when you are dealing with us men. You don't have the upper hand of trying to tell us what we can and cannot do. Trying to tell us what we should and should not do. Even if you consider it to be, even if you claim it to be helpful while you're still going with us at the same time, it's not helpful. All you're doing really, ladies, is acting like we can't think for ourselves. We can do the same thing to you women, and believe me, I would be more than I'd be more than gratified to hear that and see that and see how you take it. I know for a fact you would not take it very well at all on any level. You might act like it even with a person watching, but if a person wasn't watching, you would hate it either way. And even when we men do that, you turn around and walk. You women, I've noticed this too. You women turn around and walk away. But yet, when you try to do it to us, you expect us to stand there and listen to it. And yet, at times, we do stand there and listen to it. Even more at times as well. But I'm going to put it out there. If a woman does that to you, men, even to you blue-pilled simps, manginas, white knights, walk away. And if she starts saying something, just go as you walk away. That right there to start with, she'll 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 blow up your phone in the sense of calling you continuously, texting you, you can continuously emailing you, blowing up your email left and right if she has it. Trying to tell you what to do, like Jill tried to tell me what to do many years ago. And I know I mentioned it before, many times before, in each separate video before this one and the last one. And to start, she calls me up when I'm hanging out with my friend Chris Thompson, my high school friend. She, in her little feminazi, female type mind, she had the gumption and cojones, metaphorically, to think that she can tell me what to do and when to do it and how to do it and whatnot else, even with the fact that we were not going together, even at that point in time. Even after the fact that I said, Jill, you cannot tell me what to do. And she said, yes, I can. No, you can't. And then I hung up on her ass. She calls me up within about 3, 4, 5 seconds later. Roughly about 3 or 4, really, in that sense. And she said, don't you hang up on me ever again. I'm like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. We're not going together. Click. It surprised me, though. Even over the phone when she wasn't in front of Chris Dixon, her now husband, even when she wasn't in front of Chris Dixon and my then wife at the time, after we got out of the particular thing we had to do, that we were asked to do by various reasons, different reasons, granted. While we were outside, she didn't mention that. She could have easily said, your husband had some balls to talk to me the way he did many years ago. Of course, my wife would say, okay, how was that? How did he talk to you? I told him not to do one thing, and he defied me. And when I called him back after he hung up on me, that he said I couldn't tell him what to do, and then hung up on me again. I should have called him back again. Yeah, women like drama, that's for damn sure. But I know even with that scenario, women do that scenario that I acted out just now, or just about a minute ago now, and then of course they would either do it to the point where the other woman that were with or married to would turn around and say, "Why did you do that to her? How dare you do that to a woman?" Case in point, though, my then wife did not confront me that way at all. And even if Jill were to mention that to my then wife at the time, it wouldn't phase her one iota. So I was in the clear on that one too. You wonder how many years ago it was? I can give you that it was still within the 1990 purview of the decade. Within the year from the mid to late 1990s to possibly remotely close to the latter 90s, somewhere in between. It would surprise me exactly if Joe were to say exactly when it was, and if I were to recall it to be that year and whatnot, I might mention it next time around. But even after that point, but who's to say? But even if she were to mention that I mentioned her name on each one of my logical Mgtow videos, I have a right to do it. There's nothing in the Constitution that says that I can't, especially when it comes to a particular topic I'm discussing. Women do it too, so we men can do it as well. The basic fact is also, Jill, as I mentioned before, that even after I divorced my then wife, my choice, and it began again before I became Mgtow, um, that Jill thought she would be able to get me to go down to Truckee, where she lived at with her husband, while her husband, Chris Dixon, was out trying to make some money for them and their survival and to pay their bills and the rent, as well as for food and everything, right? I ain't stupid. I know what would have happened. Oh, there's many scenarios that would have happened. And I know I mentioned one of them on a number of the videos that I've done even before this one, even on the video that I did yesterday. I believe I mentioned it. You know, in hindsight of the whole thing, though, too, Mgtow Brothers and soon to be a new and future Mgtow Brothers and Blue Pilled Simpson White Knights and Manginas. The end result of the whole thing, women think they can just get away with anything and everything under the sun. And they think that they are free of sin no matter what. Even the women on the Tom Leykis show thought they were free of sin. They thought they would be able to even tell Tom what to do. They can't. They will. You can't tell Tom Leykis what to do. You can't tell us men what to do. And even when we're married to you women, you don't think we should tell you what to do, even then. But yet you think you can tell us what to do even while married or in a relationship. But even with the aspect of a marriage or relationship, you women think you can tell us men what to do. And you think you're justified and you think you can get away with it. You can't. If you women don't want to be told what to do, and if you women want to be trusted, good. Easy trust can be taken away because you women have done the most sinful, heinous things in known society, even behind the man's back, the male gender's back, essentially. Yes, we men have done the same thing. Yes, I'm not gonna discount that. But you women have done it more often than we have, more often than us men have. No matter what you think, you can make up the excuse to make yourself feel better about yourself and better of why you did it and the reason you did it. Mm-mm. We men have done it, and it doesn't make us right. Therefore, it doesn't make you women right at all. And it doesn't matter if you are considered the weaker gender or not. And it doesn't matter if you have the no fault divorce proceedings on your side. You still sin. It's still wrong. You are not a human when you do that. You will never be considered a human being when you do wrong, ladies. You will not be considered as a human being to us men, and on top of that, you will automatically, without a doubt, regardless of if you're spiritual or an atheist or not, or even if you're are or not a Bible reader or are or not a churchgoer and have not found your religion that you want to be a part of yet or not. You still sin. You are still imperfect. You're not perfect. You're imperfect, just like we are. Therefore, also, you women are not justified and you're not in the clear. No matter how much you try to convince yourself that you are when you're not. And you know deep within your soul and your conscience that you're not in the clear at all. And you're not justified for doing sinful actions, and you know it. You just want to keep on trying to just tell yourself that you are when you're really not. Therefore, you are not a real, true, honest to goodness human being on that aspect. Therefore, you will not be treated as such by us men. Thereby, I know many Mgtow members have mentioned this of women saying, why don't guys hold the door open for us anymore? They should. That shows a real gentleman. Oh, mm, we're not we're not going to do many of the things that we've done even as youth for you women any longer. Married to us or not, in a relationship with us or not. Fuck no. You think you can do us wrong and get away with it? We're going to be teaching you a lesson left and right, ladies. You think you're justified for doing even the sinful things when you know deep within yourself you're not, no matter how much you try to convince yourself that you are, when you're really not. Therefore, it's going to be continuously longer for you to have the man. And it doesn't mean the real man is the one that makes enough to support you women as well as us men. That's not a justification of a real man. You cannot base things of what a real man is, though, either, ladies. And you cannot judge us in the sense of men need to grow up. They need to learn to give us what we want when we want it and when we are entitled to. Regardless of your entitlements, and regardless of even if you want it, you get it yourself. The ERA made it to where you women were not only able to vote, but also to make your own income, work, support yourself, even while in a relationship with us or not, even while married to us or not. That's the truth. Learn to accept and deal with it. Because we have to learn to accept many things and deal with them too, and we have. You women do age like milk to where you're not desirable any longer. We men do age gracefully to where we're wanted even more, even by the younger crowd of women. You need to learn to accept that too, ladies. The more you learn to accept many things that you refuse to, quite possibly, and I do mean quite possibly. I'm not gonna count my chickens before they hatch on this one either. And I ask that no Mgtow member and future and new Mgtow member and soon to be Mgtow member counts their chickens on before they hatch on this one as well. That may quite possibly, once you learn to accept things and not to do things that you know damn well, even within your internal mortal soul and conscience, ladies, that you will never do them again, even when it comes to the points of doing this wrong. Therefore, you will not use marriage as a business to benefit you women, and also you will get rid of the no fault divorce thing, to where it's even for us as well as you. And you will have to also change a number of other things. And I mentioned a number of them earlier in this video. And that may take some time too, or maybe more than some time, ladies. Whichever the fact, we will be living the Tom Likas life. And we men will do the $40 rule. If we see you women texting or answering a phone call when we're on a date with you women, believe me, we will get up and leave. And I know even Tom Likas says, to say that you're going to the bathroom, for us to say that we're going to the bathroom, we don't have to say shit. We'll just get up and, because you women do the same shit to us. And I've seen, and it's even shown on sitcoms, that you women get up and head up the damn pathway to the doorway. Even after pouring beer over our heads or any content of food over our heads, as it's shown on sitcoms as well. And nobody can say that it doesn't happen in real life, because it does happen. You women are so damn desperate for us to sign the dotted line to where you think you can call the shots in a relationship and marriage. No. That's not equality. That's not fairness. Even in marriage is not fairness, especially where you think you can, where you women think that you can cheat on us. Aside from the no fault divorce thing, in the aspect of the divorce proceedings, where it benefits you women, and to where you also add on to adding a load of shit on top of that, about falsification and sinful lies to the judge in the divorce proceedings. And you think you're justified for that? You're not. You sin even on that. Like it or not, that's the damn truth, ladies. And that's the damn truth, Mgtow men, about women. No, a woman likes it when we judge them, even on the aspect that they need to grow up, especially. Yet they think they're justified and freely able to do that, to judge us on that same aspect or anything else for that matter. And they're not really. Watch out for that. Don't deal with that. Don't put up with that. Don't even put up with them trying to tell you what to do. I didn't. When it came to Jill trying to tell me what to do in the past. And I will not put up with a woman trying to tell me what to do, no matter what. Even in this time, and even in this timeline that we're in right now. Not even Nancy Pelosi herself or anybody else in the political genre can tell me what to do. Trump, I respect. He's the only positive political person that we have now. And do note, mention this to your family members, Mgtow brothers, and soon to be future and new Mgtow brothers, even the older Mgtow brothers. You need to know this too. It was said that if Joe Biden was to be voted in for president in 2020, that one of his first things were to be is to get rid of Social Security. Therefore, the ones that are retired and the future retirees would have no base of income. If you don't believe so, look into it. Those who are Democratic voters. Joe Biden's losing face and losing stability in the race, even after the fact that he was racial on one particular thing that he mentioned in one rally, that the news media caught him saying and quoted him saying several weeks ago. And it was racial and stupid and ignorant of him to do it, regardless of the reason, regardless of the topic or subject. I'm voting for Trump. And all. Mgtow brothers, live long and prosper. Stay alive, stay self-assured, self-confident, stay single, stay strong. Don't stay free from feminism and feminist manipulation and the Me Too manipulation. Stay free from that as well. Stay strong. Make time for life. Have a good afternoon and have a good morning, whichever time the day you're watching this video. Have a good night as well.